And a pleasant good evening to you and yours, and welcome to the Brevard Sports Network. I'm Alan Slaughterzinski, and busy night here for us at BSN. We were at, I can't even remember where we were, but all I know is that we were doing the Melbourne Girls Softball Banquet. And again, congratulations to the Bulldogs on their 6A state championship. Be on the lookout on Brevard Sports Network coming up because we're going to do a year-end recap in which we talk about from fall to spring. Don't forget that the softball team, they're not the only state champs we had this year in Brevard County. We had the Vieira boys cross-country team win a state championship. How about Elliot Weissel and what he did in swimming for Rockledge? And how about the track team, the girls track team for the Cocoa Tigers that won a state championship? So we had state champions all across the board in all levels this year, and we'll recap it all. And, of course, later next week, we're going to bring the summertime sports talk show back that we did last summer. Last year it was myself and Hunter Steele. This year to be me, Jackson Robb. Maybe see if we can't get Hunter involved. Mark Moses from Sports Radio 1560 will help me launch that later on next week. But the reason we are here tonight is to announce our girls lacrosse players of the year. Tonight we've got the overall players of the year. We've got the defensive player of the year. We have the offensive player of the year. And we have the coach of the year that we're going to nominate. The coach of the year is kind of something that we keep close to us here at Brevard Sports Network. We choose that. We don't put that up for debate or discussion. We're always generally pretty comfortable with our selections in that field. Congratulations to Bobby Collins and Pete Donovan, our baseball coaches of the year. It was a good year, an outstanding year in girls lacrosse here in Brevard County. We learned a lot here on Brevard Sports Network. We were very excited to be involved in a lot of the coverage this year. A lot of great things happened. You look at Edgewood and what they were able to accomplish this year, Vieira and what Vieira was able to accomplish, and how about the year that Satellite had as well. Lots of good lacrosse teams out there this year, and that says nothing for the rest of the county. Very competitive overall, very, very good year. And when I'm talking to people from around the state about girls lacrosse in Brevard County, don't forget, a lot of these guys that are the experts on lacrosse here in Florida, they always tell me that girls lacrosse laid the foundation for the success of overall lacrosse here in Brevard County. I hear that constantly hear that. So, and this year was absolutely no exception. So, without further ado, what we want to do is just go ahead and announce our coach of the year. This guy took over the program really what was, I believe, at the very last minute this year. He ended up ranked, his team ended up as the top-ranked team in Brevard County. If you go to Max Preps and you look at the Orlando Metro rankings, which we pay a lot of attention to because, it gets us closer to the rankings than having to sift through all of the classifications, but they include everybody. So if you go to Max Preps and you look at the Orlando Metro rankings, this guy's team was the top-ranked team. They were ranked sixth in the Orlando Metro area, 11th overall in 2A. That may give it away. They were 13-5. They also did something this year for the first time in program history, win an FHSAA State Series playoff game as well. And they were 7-0 against Brevard County this year. They defeated Satellite. Fantastic game. They defeated Edgewood. Another great game. So congratulations to Brevard Sports Network's girls head lacrosse coach of the year, Mr. Chad Weiss. And there you see it there. Chad, a great guy. And, again, if you look at the Hawks schedule this year, and you go down the list, 15-3 over West Shore, 19-18 over Satellite, and you look at strength of schedule. Brevard Sports Network places a lot of emphasis in all sports on strength of schedule. We just do. What we feel is that if you're going to pick the best players, you really have to see what it is they do against the best competition. Now, their losses this year came to opponents outside of Brevard County. That tough one, that tough loss to Oviedo. And then they had to play the 2A state runner-up this year, not once, not twice, but 3 times in Vero Beach this year. Got close to them once, really gave them a pretty good game back on April the 13th, a 15-7 loss. I don't know what Vero had for breakfast on April 26th. But that April 13th game, a really, really good game. They had an outstanding season. And, St. Edwards, you look, again, they beat Edgewood. So congratulations to Coach Chad Weiss on being the Brevard Sports Network Girls Lacrosse Coach of the Year. So now what we want to do is we want to start. We're going to give out the Defensive Player of the Year, the Offensive Player of the Year, and then our Player of the Year. So let me make sure I got my notes. I just want to go down the nominees here real fast. The Defensive Players of the Year from Merritt Island, Sierra Deck, 127 ground balls this year, 4th in the state, 21 calls, turnovers. Mackenzie Burial, Jr., 119 ground balls. Obviously, if Sierra was 4th with 127, she was right there behind her, 5th in the state. From Cocoa Beach, Riley Knight had a very good defensive year, 84 ground balls. From West Shore, Katrina Carl, a very good, very, very good year. Alexis Vorndran as well, outstanding two-way player. Alexis is. From Satellite, goalie Paige Shepard, 116 goals against this season. From Edgewood, junior goalie Maya Swindell, 127 goals against, 139 saves, a 6.9 goals per game, 522 save percentage. From Vieira, goalie Cameron Wallace, she had 178 goals against, 10.5 goals per game, 146 saves, a 450 save percentage, as well as sophomore Bella Wessel in there as well. Nice job by Bella this year. 57 ground balls, 14 calls, turnovers. And from Holy Trinity, goalie Bella Munez, 140 goals against, 10 goals per game. I know it says 11.4 on the sheet, but I have been corrected on that. So that is Bella's statistic. So without further ado, we took a look at this as well. And what we did was we looked at it, and we chose goalie junior Maya Swindell from Edgewood as our Brevard Sports Network Defensive Player of the Year. You look at what Maya did this year. Give me just a second to pull that up. Man, she really played well against some really potent offensive teams this year. Satellite, the first time out against the Scorps this year, 4 goals. Anytime you hold Satellite to 4 goals, that is absolutely incredible. Vieira, she held Vieira to 11 goals, which is a fantastic effort. Holy Trinity to 8 goals. And then, again, in the district championship, even though it was a loss, 10 goals. And then with an opportunity to get a crack at Satellite again in the FHSAA regional quarterfinals, 8 goals. So congratulations to Edgewood junior goalie Maya Swindell. She is our Brevard Sports Network Girls Lacrosse Defensive Player of the Year. When you look at the Offensive Player of the Year nominees, sometimes there really is there was some outstanding seasons that stood out this year. really, offensively. I mean, I could go down the list. But when you look at one player and one player specifically, I mean, it heads and shoulders. So, congratulations. I mean, let's just get right to it. Congratulations to Satellite Junior Maeve Chamberlain. Maeve this year, 90 goals this year, 37 assists, 127 points. Oh, by the way, she also had 69 ground balls, 66% shooting percentage. Satellite doesn't list draw statistics. She's a scoring machine. Her 90 goals were obviously the most in the county. They were seventh in the state of Florida. And in fact, Maeve's goals ranked as 58th best in the nation this year. As I said, Maeve she wasn't just a goal scorer. She was second on the Scorpions with 37 assists this year. And she led the team with 69 ground balls. By the way, her 127 points was also the best in the county and sixth in the state. Heading into her senior season, Maeve has 173 goals and 226 points. And I think that when you look at offensive statistics, you really can't select anybody else other than Maeve Chamberlain. So, Maeve, congratulations on being the Brevard Sports Network Offensive Player of the Year. All right. That brings us to our Player of the Year. Let's go down the nominees, if we could, please, here real quick. Obviously, we just told you about Maeve. From the Vieira Hawks, sophomore Isabella Desascio. Isabella, 43 goals, 46 assists, 89 points, 17 ground balls, 3 calls, turnovers, a shooting percentage of .652. She led the Hawks in assists this year, was third in goals and second overall on the team in points. Her assist ranked fifth in the district and eighth in the state. And again, I'm going to point out, every time I mention Vieira, they by far played the toughest schedule out of any of the teams that we're talking about here tonight. And again, that counts for something when we consider these statistics. Now, I know that, the girls can only play the schedules that their athletic directors and coaches put before them. But again, we do consider strength of schedule very, very heavily. How about the year that junior Lauren Koshlap had, and I hope I'm saying that right, her and her sister had outstanding years for the Edgewood Red Wolves. Lauren, 50 goals, 32 assists, 82 points, 60 ground balls, a .658 shooting percentage. Just an outstanding season for Lauren. Alexis Vorndran from West Shore this year. 79 goals, 17 assists, 96 points, 103 ground balls, an .856 draw percentage, and a .632 shot percentage. Alexis was 77 for 90. She fell, I think, 4 draws short, I think it was, of qualifying in the state. Her 79 goals was tied for 15th in Florida. Her 96 points was 28th best, and her 103 ground balls 10th best. The Wildcats were 7-7 this year, and Vorndran was 53% of the team's total points and 46% of their goals this year. Another nominee from Vieira, Avery Foster. Avery with 63 goals and 38 assists for 101 points. She is the only other player in Brevard County outside of Maeve Chamberlain to crack the century point mark this year. A .649 shooting percentage, 50 ground balls, 10 calls, turnovers, and 165 draw control wins. She was 50% with that this year. Junior from Holy Trinity, Lindsey Angermeier this year, 68 goals, 15 assists, 83 points, a .654 shooting percentage, 32 ground balls, 28 calls, turnovers, 83 draw control wins. Just an outstanding season for Lindsey this year. She transferred from Edgewood last year, a 3-sport athlete. Just an outstanding season. She was the Holy Trinity team MVP this year and helped the Tigers to a 6-win turnaround and a district playoff victory over Merritt Island this year. So to recap, we've got Maeve Chamberlain, Isabella Desascio, Lauren Koshlap, Alexis Vorndran, Avery Foster, and Lindsey Angermeier as our Player of the Year nominees. And look, we always, I don't even know how to say this, but I always say I hate choosing co-players of the year. But that's what we did this year. It's our first year picking Lacrosse awards, and certainly we're not going to make everybody happy. But when we went to pick the Player of the Year award, we looked specifically at 3 players. And 2 of them, we narrowed it down to 2. And when we looked at what their contributions were to their teams, we were just, everything that you said about one player, you could turn around and say about the other. And if we believed that the best team in the county this year was the Vieira Hawks, then our 2022 Brevard Sports Network Girl Lacrosse Players of the Year come from the Vieira Hawks. And we want to say congratulations to Isabella Desascio and Avery Foster. Look, they both had outstanding seasons for a very good Vieira Hawks team this year. We just felt like that we couldn't give it to one without giving it to the other as well. Are we taking the easy way out? You betcha. You bet we are. But so that is what we decided to do. Once we name the baseball awards, the boys lacrosse awards, then we'll get all the plaques done. So I'll be in touch with all of your. I'll be in touch with TJ Gowdy at Satellite. I'll be in touch with Edgewood, Chad Weiss. But we get all these plaques done at the same time. In fact, we had a tremendous issue with the plaques over the winter, and so we're going to be handing out a lot of plaques at the same time. Names spelled wrong, the whole 9 yards. But we finally got everything fixed, settled. So we'll be handing those out. So just to recap, once again, congratulations to Isabella Desascio and Avery Foster. They are our 2022 Brevard Sports Network Girls Co-Lacrosse Players of the Year. Congratulations to Maeve Chamberlain. She is our Offensive Player of the Year. Congratulations to Maya Swindell. She is our Defensive Player of the Year. And congratulations to head coach Chad Weiss. He is our 2022 BSN Girls Lacrosse Coach of the Year. As we said, we know that we've disappointed some people, and not everybody's going to be happy. We are comfortable with our picks. It was painstaking. This is a process that is always painstaking for us. But not everybody gets a trophy. And, that's how we do it. That's how we see it. That's our beliefs. Congratulations to all of the young ladies that had outstanding years this year. We went through the Defensive Player of the Year nominees, and I just want to make sure that I also mention the Offensive Player of the Year nominees, because we jumped right in and just gave it to Maeve, but I want to make sure that we do mention the Offensive Player of the Year nominees. It was also Lauren Koshlap and Taylor Koshlap from Edgewood, Maeve Chamberlain and Kara Steckler, as well as Hannah Prudente from Satellite, Alexis Vorndran from West Shore, Isabella Desascio, Avery Foster, and Lexi Fisher from Vieira, Lindsey Angermeier from Holy Trinity, and Isabella Brown from Rockledge, also a nominee for Offensive Player of the Year. So congratulations to all of the girls. I'll be in touch with the coaches. We'll be back tomorrow night to give out the boys award. Coming up next here on Brevard Sports Network, at least within the next hour or so, we will have the post up for the BSN Boys Baseball Player of the Year nominees. 6 outstanding student athletes being nominated there. And then the girls post, with each girl that won tonight will have a separate post up tomorrow, honoring their achievement tonight. So thanks to all of you. Thanks to the coaches, the parents. We had over 60 emails. I couldn't be more gracious for all of your input. And thank you for keeping it classy. Again, this is always a painstaking task, and honored to be able to do this. So for Caleb Brown, I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski. Congratulations to all the winners again, and we'll see you tomorrow night right here to hand out the boys' awards. Have a great night, everybody.